Speaker is the real deal because he's lived 10 lives worth of grit, fight, and impact. He's an Army veteran who served with the 101st Airborne, the 5th Special Forces Group. He trained NATO and Special Forces overseas and West Point cadets at home. He's also a 6-time MMA world champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and Warriors fought in over 60 professional bouts around the globe. But he didn't stop there. No, today, as CEO of Sales Platoon, he's on a mission to take veterans from $20 an hour jobs into six-figure sales careers. As founder of Tactical Traveler, he helps teams recharge, reconnect, and return stronger than ever. He's a warrior, leader, a builder, and a man dedicated to helping others unlock their full potential. So get loud and welcome John Renken.
Hey,
Thank
that's
you, sir.
pretty good, man. You did good.
Thanks. I couldn't let Matt take all the credit on that one. So I didn't have the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to show you some real simple stuff. All my sales platoon candidates that I see in here, they've already done this. And you know, I'll just use Robert as an example. Robert Schaefer, who we met through Seven Eagle, was a highly, highly qualified medical person. And he put in, I'm not exaggerating, probably 100 resumes. Okay. And he kept getting kicked out of the system. Now, I don't know about everybody on here. I can't, the way it's set up. Let me see if I can switch this. I don't know about everybody in here and how much you guys have put out resumes, but have any of you guys been accepted the first time you put in a resume and got hired? How about 10 times? Right? The job market has changed. And the reason it's changed is because of AI and ATS systems. And for many of you, even though we all know this, that even the guy that was, the DFAT guy in the military has still done a lot more than most people in the country, right? And yet people are just getting pulled out by some automated system. Have you guys been experiencing that? Why don't we drop a one in the chat? So, because there's like 400 of you on here. That way I can see if I'm tracking with what you guys are experiencing. Is that what you guys are experiencing? Right. I mean, look, some of you guys, I'm looking at some of your titles. You're cybersecurity and IT people, and you're running into the same problem. And the military cybersecurity and IT people do more work than anybody in the civilian cyber and IT worlds. Like, that's not a joke. Like, I get it. So one of the things that we do with our candidates is we take them, we show them how to use their network to find a job, and we show them how to use LinkedIn to network past the ATS system, past the recruiters. And this is just John Renken personally, and I know, like, I served in the Army, so I get it. We all know there's that one guy or girl that you wish wasn't in your unit and you wish you didn't serve with. But by and large, we are the most talented people in our country. Even you Air Force guys, okay? Just kidding, right? And it's frustrating that we have difficulties getting jobs because we shouldn't have difficulties getting jobs. Our intangible skill set should set us up for success, and it's not. So we have to figure out a different way. So let me say this too. Having taken that one individual that you served with that wasn't really a great representation of the military, right, off the table, I want you guys to understand something about networking. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what sex you are. In networking, I try to treat everybody like you're the next thing, whatever that next thing is. The next president of the United States, the next Elon Musk, the whatever, right? And here's why. And I'm just going to use this example from my unit. So I served in the 101st Airborne Division for the Army. And in the 101st Airborne Division, I'm going to list off a couple of individuals that all served in the 101st. None of them achieved anything really great in the military, by the way. Okay? Have any of you ever heard of Elvis Presley? He was in the 101st Airborne Division, got out as an E3. Okay? Have any of you ever heard of Jimi Hendrix? Okay. Got out of the Army as like an E4, right? So Jimi Hendrix, by the way, stayed in the same barracks I did when I came into the Army. Okay. They had a big memorial. Have any of you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Champion, Randy Couture? Served in the 101st Airborne Division. Okay. I think he was like a logistician, by the way. So he was not the high-speed guy he is now. Okay. So, dang, the Air Force got Chuck Norris? Serious?
Yes, sir. He served from 1958 to 1962.
All right. Well, I have to stop telling Air Force jokes before he comes gets me. Right? Now, the last one, many of you might not have heard about unless you are in some sort of sales or pay attention to some of this kind of stuff. But any of you have ever heard of Patrick Bet-David? Multi-millionaire insurance guy, show host, right? So he was a E4 when he got out, did nothing of note, and now is really doing some amazing things. The reason I bring up every one of those examples is if you treat somebody poorly while you're in, you don't know who that person's going to be when they get out. Okay.
Amen.
And, you know, I just say this too. I don't care who you are. As people and as veterans in our community, even if they're not necessarily the great soldier they're supposed to be, or airman or seaman or Marine, they've still done more than what most people in this country have done. Okay. And if we treat people with respect and we network with people, you have no clue. I don't know what any of you in this room are going to do. I know Emmanuel, we've talked a couple of times. He freaking might end up being the governor of Nevada. Like, I don't know. Right? You're in Las Vegas, right? You're out in Vegas, Emmanuel, I thought. Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
Yeah, right? I don't know who he's going to become. So he's a black guy, right? So if I treat him like crap because of his color, and then he becomes the governor of Nevada, and I'm working government contracts in Nevada, and he's like, oh, here comes this bald-headed racist. Screw that guy. Right? Everybody deserves dignity and respect. And if you're going to network and be successful in getting a job, you need to understand this first and foremost about your network. Now, I'm going to show you guys some stuff on LinkedIn. Do I sound like Dana White? I'll take that as a compliment. I definitely don't have Dana White's money. So call him up, tell him to cut me a check since I sound like him and we both have bald heads, right? But it's important that you guys understand that about networking, because when we go on to online and I'm connecting with people on social media, it's really important that I bring that kind of perspective to what I'm doing online. Okay. So let me share my screen here and then let me know when you guys can see my screen. You know, just somebody tell me they can see it. Okay. Can you guys see it?
You're good.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to show you two profiles. One's an Army guy, one's not an Army guy. And then I'm going to show you how they built their profiles and why we do things the way we do things, okay? So the first thing I want to show you is what not to do, okay? So this gentleman has become the brunt of all my jokes. He's here locally in Clarksville. He's probably real. Who can somebody mute? Because I'm hearing myself talk to myself.
Get that hot mic, guys. Check it.
Who's that? Is that? Is that me? That can't be me, right? Give me a second here.
Hey, Trish or Mary, whoever's got the host, please check that hot mic.
Yeah, I don't know.
It only just takes one idiot.
Yeah, that's weird. And that's me talking, so I don't know. All right. So here is Vincent Morgatti. All right. Now, when you look at his profile, what do you guys think?
He's not active with it.
He's not active with it.
He's a bot.
He could be a bot, right? He's not a real boy. Okay. So no picture, no background, no activity. The only thing I see is he's connected to a couple of people I know. All right. Now I want you guys to frame this. If he reached out to you for a job, what would be the first thing you thought?
He's uncommitted.
Yeah. Why is he uncommitted? That's a great comment. Why'd you say that?
Because he didn't even complete his profile. If he's reaching out for a job on this platform, he needs to use the platform.
That's right. If he can't fill out his freaking profile, why would I hire him? Right? Now, if he reached out to you to network with you or to sell you something, what would you think?
Scam.
Spam. Scam. That's right. He is the reason why I do what I do when I teach LinkedIn. Okay. So first guy I'm going to show you is Eric Horton. He's a retired sergeant major, teaches LinkedIn all across the military. He's a great guy. Now, when I show you guys this stuff, there's some stuff that he does that I don't really agree with. I don't think it's wrong. I just think there's maybe a different way to do it, which is why I show you the second profile. And then I'm going to show you mine. And we're going to go fast from here. So if you have questions, put them in the chat, and then I'll answer them as I look back over at my screen. So the first thing is does anybody know how long the average job is now in America? So when you get a job, how long do you stay? Anybody know?
1 year.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. Okay. When Ernest and I were kids, our parents never stayed 3 to 5 years. It was like 10, 15, 20. Okay. 100. My grandfather started at 11 and worked there till he died at 77, right? So that's not our environment today. The reason why I bring this up is I believe this background picture right here where he has his name needs to be branding you, not a company. Because the chances are in our economy today, in 3 to 5 years, Valerie is going to go somewhere else that pays her more money. Why would you promote a company that you're not going to be at for 20 years? Okay. John Renken's personal opinion, you can do it however you want. He's got a good, clean headshot, right? Now, I want you guys to notice this. This section under here, this is what I see a lot of you guys do. And I don't mean you like on this Zoom, I just mean transitioning veterans. That's actually the wrong thing to do. You put what you did in the military as a job description here. This is not the place for that. What this is for somebody to look at your profile and go, who is Emmanuel? Who is Kamar? Who is Russell? Why should I connect with them? So if you look at Eric's, he helps military thrive post-service. He's a senior business analyst. So he has one little bullet in there about what he does for a job. Everything he does for the veteran community is pretty much donated. Okay. He's a workforce development expert, co-founder of LinkedIn, Music City, right? And then let's create impact together. It's more about who he is than what he does for a job. Why should I connect with Richard Clare besides he's as ugly as me? Why should I connect with him? Richard, hopefully you're not in the Air Force and you got a sense of humor because you're in the Marines or the Army, right?
Man, it's messed up.
Very messed up.
Why would anybody want to connect with you? That's what this space is here for. Why should I connect with you? Okay. Notice he's got 34,000 connections. He is a LinkedIn beta tester. So before LinkedIn does anything, Eric knows because he's one of their beta testers. Okay. About section, I'm going to tell you guys this because of what he does for. I do have a sense of humor. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I try not to kill you with crazy stuff. And then you all leave this going, man, that guy was so boring. Okay. So on your about section, the one thing is because he works for the state, his about section doesn't have to be anything because he's not trying to get a job. I wish it was more full to show you, which is why I'm going to show you the other guy's profile. Both of these guys have mentored me in LinkedIn and made me who I am on LinkedIn. Okay. But it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now, in the beginning, you guys will not have a featured section because most of you have not had an opportunity to do anything yet to have a featured section, but you need one. If you wrote doctrine for the military and they published that anywhere online, that should be in your featured section. If you were featured in some news article through the military or even as a civilian, put that on there. Does anybody know why you should have a featured section?
To drive eyes to your most important stuff.
Yeah, because it drives eyes to you and gives you what we call lent credibility. It doesn't matter if I bring Michael on my podcast, which has next to no viewership, and I let him talk about IT and AV stacks, and he just talks for 30 minutes, he can then feature that. Do most people know that John Renken's podcast has like next to no viewership? They're like, oh man, this guy was on a podcast. That's cool. Right? So you want, as you grow in your career, a good featured section. Okay. Now, Eric is super active on LinkedIn. And what I mean by that is he consistently posts once or twice a week. It does you no good to have a really banging profile, but then no content. No, that is not too outdated, Karen. That's good. Okay. So you guys want to post once or twice a week. LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's not Twitter. It's not Instagram. Its algorithm is completely different. You only need to post once or twice a week. Okay. Now about your experience section, the problem with the military is ageism. Okay. And what I mean by that is employers are looking for younger people and they think when they hear 20-year career veteran that you're older than what you are. We all know 38 ain't old, right? But when you hear 20-year career in the secular civilian world, that sends off certain different types of signals. So what I'd like to see you guys do is see how he's divided out his experience here when he was at the state of Tennessee. That's what you need to do with your military career. So from 2000 to 2004, you were a private. Yeah, right. Yeah, 38 feels old and depleted on deployment. There was many a days I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm still doing this. But what you want to do is you want to subdivide out your experience in your military because 20 years to be outside the labor market is a long time. So we have to try to make that up with the breadth of experience that many of you have. Okay. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Do you guys know how to divide that time out inside your service? Does everybody know how to do that? If you don't, what you can do is you just come up here and you're going to just click more, and then you can edit your profile, right? And then when you add, which it won't show me here, but when you add an experience, you can go in and edit the experience and put categories for the time that you were at that job, okay? And that's what you want to do with that, all right? Education is what it is. All of you probably have your bachelor's or associates. Put your education on there. Don't worry about don't worry about your GPA. It's not asking you for that, okay? Now, this is something that Eric does that I think all of you should do, which is that he has every certificate he has ever been given on that thing. I don't care if the Marine Corps gave you a certificate on how to properly scrub toilets. Put it on there initially, okay? Because what we want to show an employer is that you are actually a person that learns, that you're a person that pursues education. Okay, make sense so far? All right, Karen, right here's the volunteering question. You should absolutely put that on your profile. Many companies have moved to volunteerism and understanding that that's an important part of company culture. So if you have volunteered, I don't care if it's your church, the Boys and Girls Camp, whatever, put it on there. Okay. your skill sets for whatever your job is going to be. So I pick on Emmanuel because we've talked before. He should have that thing 50 deep, all about cybersecurity, IT, pen testing, whatever it is. Okay. Now, all of you being in Seven Eagle have an opportunity to do something here very different, which is that you can have everybody in the group review you that you're working with. You should have about 10 recommendations up on your page. How do I know that Dante is the individual that he says he is? Well, because I can go to his profile and there's 10 other dudes on there that says he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Right? And the way that I would structure this until you have experience in the market is I would get a couple of your superiors to rate you, right? So if you've got a CEO or a captain who was really instrumental in your career and really likes you, reach out, hey, sir, could you do a bullet on LinkedIn? I would get a couple of your peers, and then I would get a couple of your subordinates. That puts you right at 8 to 10 people, which is perfect. So you have a boss, peers, subordinates who all say you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's pretty good when you talk to a recruiter. Now, depending on the ranks in here, if you've ever written courses for the military, you should put that in, because if we have certificates and we can teach or certify other people, that tells a company that you're not only somebody who will be a self-learner, you're somebody who can contribute to the team by training the team. So you should have those on there if you have them. Honors and awards are things above and beyond normal. Okay. Don't put your service ribbon on there. Bronze Star, got it. Right? Medal of Honor, Purple Heart, whatever. Okay. Now, put this in the chat. How many of you speak a second language fluently? Anybody? Farsi, Persian, Spanish, French, Arabic, right? You should put your profile language in that. And here's Italian and Spanish. When you put that on there, it will allow people from those languages to see your profile in their language. That's really good. That's a really good thing. In sales, it's really good, because if I call Megan and she speaks fluent French and she picks up the phone and I'm speaking to her in French, am I a spam caller? Have any of you guys ever got spam call in another language? Make sure I get compensated, right? So it's important that if you've got a foreign language, you put that on there. I speak dad. Right? If you got any associations, same thing. So now let me show you one other guy here, because he does things just a slightly bit different. Now he's the vice president of a multi-billion-dollar company. They're a Fortune 500 company. Okay. So he does not market himself because he's the vice president of a Fortune 500 company. Do you understand the difference there? Right? Now, good, clean headshot. Notice that Larry capitalizes his name. Texan counts, okay? And the reason why he capitalizes his name is because he's trying to make his name stick out on the profile. Okay? Again, notice that this section down here is not about what he does for a living. He's got one little bullet in there, but it's about who he is. I'm an author, I'm a connector, I'm a networker, I teach LinkedIn, okay? Now, this is important for networking. Eric doesn't do it because of his position at state, but Larry does. 31,000 connections, and all of them are open for you to see. Because I can go through his network and connect with these people to help me. And I'm going to show you guys that next. Okay? This is how I would want you to write your about section because you're trying to get a job. When I connect with somebody, I want my about section to look like this. I want there to be absolutely no question that I'm legit. And what his profile does, he even puts his cell phone on there. What his profile does is he makes it to where he is absolutely credible to you. There's no doubt this guy's the real deal. Okay. Good featured section, good activity, right? He has all the same stuff that Eric has. Okay. So I wanted to show you that. Now, the reason, Ernest, are you in charge of me now? Is that like you're in charge of the dinger? Who's in charge?
You are in charge, sir.
Okay. Well, he said 30 minutes. Do I have a little bit longer than 30?
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean,
Okay. All right.
just
wanted
to
to
get some information. Go.
So if you guys have projects where you did either inter-service or inter-business or inter-company partnerships, that's where you would put that. And now I want you to see, Larry's got 109 recommendations. If you do sales platoon with us, when he teaches for us, he asks the whole class to go review it. Like he's all about that, right? And then he's a best-selling author. So he's got his publications on their honors and awards. Now, the reason why this is so important is somebody put for me who you are, like what you did in the military, and what kind of company or what company do you want to work with? Because I'm going to show you now how we go about teaching all of our sales platoon candidates how to get a job. So anybody want to volunteer, just put your job or, you know, what you did in the military, and then put the company that you would like to work for in there. PS is Air Force for personal security, right? Is that right? Electronic technician, and you want to work for Diamond Baseball Holdings. All right. So, Michael, you win. So let's do this. Diamond. So we're going to go to that company. Okay. Now, obviously, if they don't have a ton of people that work there like this one, we might have to play a little bit. So just think about that, because this is a relatively small company, but it's still big enough we can make this work. I'm going to come in here. Let me back up 1 second so I can tell you what I just did. Notice how all the employees light up when I highlight it, right? So they got 500 to 1,000 employees. When I click on that, every one of their employees on LinkedIn that says they work there is now there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to all filters. And then for past company, I'm going to do Army, Navy. Now, when I do this one, let me show you guys something. I don't know why this is. If anybody in the Air Force cares to explain it to me, you guys, for some reason, have two main profiles. The one where the people that serve is typically this white and blue one. So that's the one you want because it has more people on it. Okay. And then we want to do Marine. We'll even add the Coast Guard. I don't know if they really count, but, and then we'll add Space Force too. Okay. Space Force doesn't have a ton of people getting out yet, but they will unless they came over from the Air Force. So you want to make sure these are all in the past company, because I want to see who works here that used to serve. Okay, so we got about 30 people that work at this company, Michael, who served. So now what I can do is I can go and I can connect, and then I want to send them a note. Hey, Donald, I see that you were, you know, what was he? Army. I see that you were in the Army. I'm in the, Michael, what were you in?
Navy.
Navy. Hey, Donald, I see that you were in the Army. I was in the Navy. I'm about to get out. I'm interested in working at Diamond Baseball. Would you be open to giving me some feedback on how to get hired there? Now, let me just, you know, not every veteran is a great guy or girl, okay? We kind of established that earlier. But 9 times out of 10, if I sent you that message, how would you respond to it?
I'd want to know more about this person.
Yeah, like I'll help you, bro. Like we're from the same tribe. Yeah, you would want to help another vet out, right? here's the great thing. It doesn't matter if Donald is the janitor at that company or if he's the vice president of that company. Do you think that he has the ability to find out who the hiring manager is? Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think he knows what the culture of that company is?
Absolutely.
Yep. If he sends you back, bro, you don't want to work here.
Run for the hills.
Maybe you need to find a new place to work, right? But he'll be honest with you because it's vet to vet. And then if I can actually get, and so let's say Ernest is him, and I go, Ernest, can you hook me up? How do I get a job interview here? Oh, well, that's Emmanuel. Let me connect you to.
Yep. Let me check the ATS.
Yeah. He's just going to send me over to the guy who does the hiring, and I get to skip the ATS. And it doesn't matter what the company is. Every company on LinkedIn does this. Now, there's a second part to this. As you guys are building out your LinkedIn profile, you should be looking at your unit and connecting with every Tom, Dick, and Harry from your unit, or if you can't do unit, your base, because it's about enlarging your network. Again, I don't know if Emmanuel is going to be the governor of Nevada, but if we serve together, I want him to be on my LinkedIn. I mean, maybe Dante creates the brand new hair product that gives men their hair back. Right?
You definitely want to know that guy.
I definitely want to know that guy. Right? I definitely need it.
Yeah, me too.
So when we're building our LinkedIn, now the other thing is when you connect, you always want to send them a personalized message. Always send them a personalized message. Okay? All right. Questions?
Yeah,
Go
John,
ahead.
on that, because you asked that. Because of the limited space on a connect message, on a connect note, what do you think about like connecting without sending a message right at that point, and then going into send a message after that, so you have like the full ability?
No, so it's 300 characters if you guys have your LinkedIn Premium for free. Everybody knows they get LinkedIn Premium for free, right? Okay. You get 300 characters. Michael, what I would do if I were you is I would use ChatGPT or just be creative and make it the same message to every person you message and make it within the 300 characters. I do this all day long, every day. I teach this to all my sales platoon people, and it works really well. And you can do it in less than 300 characters.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So that's the best way. But everybody gets LinkedIn Premium for free, Pete. So that should not be an obstacle. Whether you served 10 years ago or you're getting out now, you get it for free for a year. Okay. And while you're looking for a job, if you've already got your year and you've already taken your year, you should pay the $50 a month. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And if any of you guys are looking at coming to Sales Platoon and doing sales, you absolutely have to have LinkedIn Premium. Okay. So let me transition a little bit here. I'm going to leave this up so you guys can see it. What kind of questions do you guys have? Let's just do a little bit of Q&A.
Quiet.
Man, and here I thought I was doing a great job and everybody thought I was funny. And now
Hey, sometimes you answer all the questions too.
they're like, get this idiot off here. Look at Matthew. Matthew definitely thinks I'm an idiot.
I've been called worse, that's for sure.
Yeah. No questions. All right. Robert Hendrickson. And then I'll do Maria next.
Hey, John. We were connecting a couple weeks ago, and you said there was like opportunities, but I haven't heard anything else since then.
Yep. Follow back up with me. So that company, they had a really big client emergency in the cyber world of penetration. and he has been nonstop. We have not forgotten. So just reconnect with me.
Will do. Thank you.
Maria,
Okay, question. You said under the experience section that it should or shouldn't have, you said to like put it into groups.
yes.
But maybe I haven't had enough caffeine today, but I'm trying to visualize what you mean by putting it into
Let me show
groups.
you. Okay. So I spent 20 years at 5th Special Forces Group. That's a long time anywhere anymore. So see how it's got my time there divided out?
I think that's how I have mine.
Hold on. I stopped sharing for some reason. I don't know why I did that.
We can still see your screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so you can see it. So here you see, I went out and started the Montana National Guard. I trained NATO forces at ISIF. That's what I mean by this. So the way you do this is when you do your Army experience, you're going to hit this edit button.
First of all, John, I'm Air Force.
Okay. Well, I mean, so what you can do here is you can add sections to this inside this. Now I can't because I'm done there. So, I mean, I could, but I don't have it set up to do that anymore because I'm not there anymore. Okay. But you can actually do this and you can add sections to this.
I'm still so lost. I don't think we've connected on LinkedIn, but can you pull
Please
up my
connect with me.
profile?
Yep. And I'll help you. Okay,
Maybe I already
Larry.
have it like you're talking about it, and I'm just not.
Yeah, but I can help you. It's no problem. Here, actually drop your thing in here and let me show you. Drop your LinkedIn link. And Larry, while she's dropping that, what's your question?
Yeah, hey, for the recommendations, does that have to be tied to a particular job, or can like someone just go out to my page and just do a recommendation? Because I tried to add a recommendation section on it, but it wanted me to link somebody to a job to do
They
it.
have to be on LinkedIn, and you don't have to link it to a job, but you should. Like you can do like you and I were buddies and collaborated on a project together. So there's a couple of different ways to do it.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Here's the setup, right, Maria?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is right. And you did it over here too. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I still need to drop in my bullets and stuff, but I wanted to make sure.
Yep,
I appreciate
you're
it.
doing it right.
Thank you.
And I'd
Sorry
recommend
for
you too.
the Air Force crack up right there. So
Yeah.
John,
What's up, buddy?
hey, not much. I'm one of those guys as well that we were connecting with
Yeah,
before.
just follow back up with me.
Follow back up with you. All right. Yep, I'll do that. You want to just message in LinkedIn essentially?
Just shoot me an email. Email's
Is your
easy.
email?
Yeah.
All right, too easy.
Yep. And just so you guys know, my primary function, why you see, like I know Emmanuel, I know Ken, I know Robert, is my whole thing is I try to get you guys jobs, right? That's our skill bridge. We train sales. And because we train sales, I've got tons of connections. I got jobs in Colorado, Texas, Florida. I mean, you name it. So if you have not found a position yet, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. I'll help you get a job. That's my primary purpose. Okay. So Timothy, I was looking at your resume today because I'm also a partner with Seven Eagles. So I would love to talk with you because I have somebody that would probably hire you. Eric Farmer.
Hey, I don't have a specific question. I just didn't want to interrupt anybody if they did. But I actually was watching one of your fights the other day. Pride 9 over in Japan.
Over in Japan.
Going back and watching
What are
some
your
old
belts
fights.
for?
Amateur MMA, but I'm also
Nice.
a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Under who?
Dennis Davidson out of Florida.
Okay. Nice. Good, man. How many fights you have?
I had 9 by the time I retired, but
Nice.
Air Force kept me busy.
It's good to meet you. Make sure you connect with me. I would love to.
Yeah, I sent you a request.
Good. Yeah, we have roles in Alaska too. So John Fields. Yeah, so actually let me just do this. I'll put this up here. You guys can schedule a time to talk with me for if you guys want to. Is that okay? That okay? All right. Can you guys see the QR code? Does it show you the QR code? Yeah. Yeah, just scan that QR code and set up an appointment with me. This is my one for sales. If you don't want to do sales, that's fine. Just put in the notes because it'll ask you what career. Just tell me your career that you want to go into. No other questions? What do they have next?
This is the end of the day, buddy.
This is the end of the day?
Yep.
Well, look, I know it's probably a 4-day holiday for everybody with everything that's happened over the last 25 years for us. So I will, unless you guys have questions for me, I'll stick on a little bit later. But if this is the end of the day, go enjoy your weekend.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, John. John Renken from Sales Platoon. We thank you once again for spending some time with us.
Hey, man, no problem. And I'll stick on here a little bit if that's okay, Ernest, just in case there are people with questions, but no reason to hang everybody else up.
Yeah, roger that.
Hey, John, let's just start with your origin story. What's your origin story?
My origin story? Yeah, so I served in the 90s, man. Got out, went to college, missed everything you could miss. And then in 2000 came back and started working for 5th Special Forces Group because I was a pro fighter. At that point, I had like 30 fights when the Army Combatives program was just launching. Did that for 20 years. When COVID hit, obviously, if you can't be within 6 feet of each other, you can't really train, right? So they let it go on for a little bit, but you know, just as things were happening, why keep paying you to sit around at home? Because at that point, the federal government didn't know when we were coming back. So then I went back to my roots, which is sales. I've been in sales pretty much my whole life. Even when I was at 5th Group, I was the government contracting rep. And then in 2022, Fort Campbell reached out to me and said, hey, we want you to start a SkillBridge program. And I was like, what's that? And then when I found out how long it took to set one up and I was like, yeah, no thanks. I'm done with red tape. And I ended up finding Raleigh Wilkins, who was our founder. Marine, did 2 tours, one in Afghanistan and one in Iraq. And then in 2022, in July of 22, he took his life. And his sister ended up giving me the company to keep his name alive. So that's how I'm here. Then I met Jordy. Jordy's been a great help to me as somebody who's been in the business longer. And so my entire adult life has been around the military community. And that 2-year period between COVID and when I took over the SkillBridge program actually sucked, because not that civilians are bad. It's just my entire adult life has been around all military. So like, it was hard for me to kind of connect the dots in a lot of ways. I was just like, dude, you sit at home in freaking pajamas and eat ho-hos while you're working. Like, it's not tough, you know? So, because I was working in sales. So yeah. So, and my whole thing on sales, just as a part of the story, if you're like me, I was an 11 Bravo in the Army. So like, there's no real job application. I wasn't smart like Emmanuel or Ken Fry or some of these cyber guys who can make real money. So I had 2 choices. I could be a cop or a janitor, neither of which make much money. So I went back to my roots and started doing sales. And the whole reason I teach sales is because you can make 6 figures in your first year. And the way I look at sales as a profession is, if I can help you make real money, chances are I can help you with your marriage, and I know I can help the divorce or the suicide rate, because one of the main factors in our suicide rate is our financial stress. So it's our marriages and our finances, and marriages and finances are kind of this. So for me to be here and in the SkillBridge program teaching sales is really about trying to help our community. So
John, I think you have a question in the chat.
Yep. For the section under a picture, you say not to put much about our current job or who we, but who or what we are actually about. Yeah. So what do you want to do, Sean? That's what I would put. What do you want to do?
Hey, John and Sean, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. So kind of undecided. I got a lot of like ideas, you know, listening to everything on Seven Eagle Group's been amazing. Still trying to figure out my path. I have some ideas based on what I've done in the Marine Corps. After 20 plus years, you know, you kind of do a lot of everything, jack of all trades. But as I still don't have an idea, like how would I word that section up there? You know,
Here's what I would
like,
do if I were you. 20 years of advanced leadership, or, you know, of crayon eating or window licking, whatever you want to put, looking for my next opportunity that will be my last opportunity.
Okay, well put. Appreciate it.
Yep. I would really go with looking for my next opportunity, because if you don't know, you don't know yet, right? And that's okay. But you've got a wealth of leadership and skill sets, you know, and there will be somebody that resonates with that part of your journey that will help you.
Hey, great feedback. I appreciate it. I'll be linking up with you on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Is it CC? What is Fairchild? Is that like an airport?
It's a good afternoon, sir. It's an air base in Spokane, Washington.
So I have been out to watch. I have not been to that one, but I did a bunch of stuff at JBLM with both the Air Force and the Army. I was teaching combatives out there. So
okay. Alrighty.
Matthew, you had a question, then you dropped your hand. Matthew Moore.
Oh yeah. I was just curious about like your sales training platform. Like, is there a specific product that people are being trained on to sell, or is it like a platform base, or just
No. So what we do is we train you agnostically for sales. So the skill sets for government contracting are the same as they are for mortgage lending. And then what I do is I go and I find people in various sales roles and then show them to you. And then you tell me, oh no, I would hate that. I'm not doing that. Or I would love to do that. And then we kind of try to help you figure that piece out. Like, where would you like to go? And part of that process is really understanding what you need at this point in your life. Some of you have spent 20 years in the military and don't want to be micromanaged anymore. So you don't want a 9-to-5. Some of you are at a place in life where maybe you still have small children and you need financial stability and you're not very risk tolerant right now, right? So we try to help you figure that piece out so that we can help you pick the right type of career field for you to make the money you need to make. So the answer is you can do whatever you want, really.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that.
Keisha, that's actually good. You could put your hobbies in there, Sean. That's you could put. So like if you look at my profile, I got a lot of my hobbies in there. So
awesome. Thank you.
You have to pick your hobbies. I've seen resumes come in like, oh, I like beer drinking and camping. It's like, you're coming here to be an engineer, dude. Maybe leave that off your resume.
Right. Yes, I do help Air Force people and Coast Guard people. I just know, you know, you guys all love it so much when the Army and the Marine Corps pick on you. But I picked on the Marine Corps too. I'm an equal opportunist.
Somebody's got to eat them crayons. They ain't going to eat them stumps.
Under the featured section, Will. Under the featured section. That's a great question. And again, guys, I'm just here. If you've got questions, you need something from me. And yes, I was at Fort Bliss. I for sure was at Fort Bliss multiple times, unfortunately.
I went there once back in 95, I think. And I remember the only reason I went was to visit a buddy, and he said, hey, we can go over to where we can drink on base because they don't want us to go over to Mexico. So we drank on base and then went to Mexico.
Yeah. I did 3 times out at Fort Bliss, you know, and then I did Ranger School there, you know, half a century ago.
That's a tough place to do ranger school. At least I hope it was in the winter at least.
No, it was not. I was there in August.
That's where you learn to embrace the suck.
Yeah, CC, that's exactly right. I taught the combatives courses. That was my primary function when I was at fifth group. So that is crazy. It's good to
yes,
meet
sir.
you.
I said, I know that face and I know that voice.
Well, hopefully I didn't beat you up too bad. So
it was we weren't ready. We'll just say that we're Air Force, so we were not ready.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys haven't done the end of day survey, knock it out, please.
Wow, a lot of you guys here, huh? Man. Yeah. We even depending on what you guys want to do, we have sales roles that you can do remotely overseas. So we had a guy, he's now the top sales guy in Germany, doing BMW sales. That was his passion, his hobby. We ended up getting him a job at BMW in Germany. So now he sells BMWs to all the Army guys. We have one in Italy and one in Japan too. And they're all working remote because their family is there or whatever the story is. So we have those kind of positions too. So if you're overseas, we can help you as well.
Yeah, I know this used to be if you wanted to get a car in Germany, you had to bring one with you. So I knew one guy basically put a barely running car on the boat just to trade it out.
Just to trade it out. I don't know how that works. So all right, cool. If there's no other questions, I'll just let you guys go because I can sit here. I'm a sales guy. I can sit here and talk to you forever. So I just wanted to make sure we got them all.
Yeah, we have some folks who just click in.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see
Awesome.
you soon.
Hey, thanks, John.